I'm an astronomer, and today I'm going to tell you about something that just entered our solar system, but it's not from around here. It is a visitor from very far away, all the way from the Oort cloud, which is the outermost, the third, abouthial of our solar system, 3,000 astronomical units away. That's 3,000 times the distance between the sun and the Earth. That's how far out this object was found, and it has now entered the solar system. This is Comet C 2022 E3ZTF, officially named after the Zwicky Transient Facility, where it was first discovered in March last year. But most people are calling it the Green Alien Comet because its color is green. And yes, this is real. You can really see it with your own eyes if you have a telescope or a large set of binoculars. It will be at its closest to the sun on February, and it will be visible during the night from the northern hemisphere only. Unfortunately, it'll be visible as a faint green dot moving between the constellations of Aquarius and Pisces, close to the Pleiades star cluster. So if you live in the northern hemisphere and have a small telescope, then you will be able to see it. It will become visible in the southern hemisphere later in March. It's currently passing Earth's orbit, and it will continue doing so until the beginning of March. After that, it will pass Jupiter and then swing by Mars in April. But why is it green? The color of comets is usually not green. It's typically white or grayish. This greenish hue comes from the fact that the dust of this comet contains a lot of carbon, as revealed by its composition analysis using infrared spectroscopy. When the sunlight hits the carbon-rich dust, some gets reflected and some is absorbed and re-emitted. The part that gets re-emitted has a slight preference for longer wavelengths, hence the greenish color. And this is a common thing for objects rich in carbon to do. For example, when you leave a flame burning for a long time, like if you leave a candle burning, the soot that builds up around the wick is also rich in carbon and glows green because of the same effect. But what is a comet? Well, comets are icy leftovers from the formation of the solar system, made mostly of water ice, carbon dioxide ice, methane, and ammonia. They have a solid center called the nucleus, but they also have a cloud of gas and dust around it called the coma. And if the solar wind and radiation pressure manage to blow away most of the coma, then it creates these two iconic tails, one that is made of gas and dust and one that is made of ions. Unfortunately, this comet won't have tails when it passes Earth. In fact, it will be completely dormant because it will be at its closest approach to the sun, the so-called perihelion. At that point, the heat from the sun will vaporize the ice and start creating the coma and the tails. But we will be on the other side of the planet, so we won't be able to see it. Comets are thought to originate from two places in the solar system. One is the Kuiper Belt, a donut-shaped region starting at the orbit of Neptune and extending up to about 50 astronomical units from the center of mass of the solar system. The other is the even more distant Oort cloud, which starts at about 2,000 astronomical units and extends to 100,000 astronomical units. Most comets that we see come from the Kuiper Belt, but this one is from the Oort cloud. It's interesting to study these long-period comets because they preserve more pristine material from the early days of the solar system. They also give us clues about the conditions at the edge of our solar system, a place that we have never explored. Studying this comet will help scientists learn more about the chemical activity on the surface of comets and their composition, and maybe even get some clues about where life might be found elsewhere in the universe. Because scientists think that these icy bodies could have delivered some of the building blocks of life to Earth in the past. Maybe some of us are literally star stuff. If you want to know more about the universe, subscribe for more videos.